Have you ever felt like you've lived many lives, or that this one feels like the final chapter? Edgar Cayce, the famous sleeping prophet, believed our souls return to earth again and again to grow, heal, and evolve. But what happens when your soul has learned all it needs to? What if this is your final round? In this video, we'll explore 9 powerful signs that may mean you're in your last life cycle, closer than ever to completing your soul's journey home. Let's begin. 1. A profound sense of remembering. Sometimes you step into a place for the first time, and it feels oddly familiar. Or you meet someone and feel an instant connection, like you've known them forever. These aren't just coincidences. Edgar Cayce believed that the soul holds on to memories from many past lives, even if the conscious mind forgets. When you start feeling like life is something you're remembering, not learning for the first time, it's a powerful clue. You may notice patterns, emotions, or relationships that feel like they've happened before. This strong inner knowing suggests your soul has already lived through many lifetimes and is now drawing from those past experiences. When these feelings of deep recognition become more frequent, it may mean your soul is close to completing its final life cycle. 2. Let go of earthly attachments. At this stage in your soul's journey, material things begin to lose their grip on you. Success, wealth, status, they no longer define your happiness. You may still enjoy nice things, but you don't chase them. Edgar Cayce taught that the earth is a place for learning, not for clinging. When the soul nears its final cycle, it starts to detach from the temporary and seek what's eternal. You focus more on inner peace than outside rewards. Your choices become less about what do I get, and more about what do I give. You value simplicity, presence, and spiritual growth. If you're no longer caught up in comparison, competition, or constantly needing more, it's a sign your soul may have already learned those lessons in earlier lives and is now ready to move beyond them. 3. Feeling drawn to healing and service. At this stage of your life, you feel a natural urge to help others without expecting anything in return. Whether it's through acts of kindness, emotional support, or even physical healing, you feel called to serve. Edgar Cayce emphasized that service to others is one of the highest purposes a soul can fulfill. When your soul nears its final cycle, the focus shifts from self-interest to collective healing. You start to see the interconnectedness of all life, and your heart opens to those around you. You no longer seek to be saved or validated, but instead, you feel a deep, compassionate desire to uplift others. This shift is a sign that your soul has moved beyond the personal and into the universal, and that you're preparing to complete your earthly mission by leaving behind a legacy of love and service. 4. Overcome patterns that haunted past lives. One of the clearest signs you're in your last life cycle is the ability to break free from old, destructive patterns. Throughout your past lives, you may have struggled with similar issues: addiction, toxic relationships, fear, or guilt. But now, in this life, you've healed and overcome them. Edgar Cayce believed that karma isn't about punishment, it's about balance. When you stop repeating these patterns, it means your soul has integrated the lessons it came to learn. You no longer feel trapped by the same emotional cycles or behaviors that once haunted you. Instead, you move forward with a deep sense of inner freedom. This indicates your soul has completed the necessary growth, and now it's ready to transition into a higher state of being, having learned the lessons it was meant to on earth. 5. You're guided more by intuition than logic. As your soul nears its final cycle, you may find yourself relying less on logic and more on inner guidance. Edgar Cayce often spoke of the subconscious mind connecting us to higher wisdom. When you're nearing the end of your journey, your intuition strengthens. You trust gut feelings, dreams, and quiet nudges that guide your decisions. What once seemed unclear now feels certain, and you follow this inner wisdom without doubt. This shift shows that your soul is moving beyond physical senses and intellect, trusting deeper spiritual truth. If you make decisions based on a knowing rather than analysis, It could be a sign your soul is preparing to return to the source. 6. You're attracted to timeless wisdom. As your soul nears its final cycle, you may feel drawn to ancient teachings and universal truths that go beyond any single belief system. You find yourself fascinated by texts, philosophies, and practices from various cultures, whether it's Eastern mysticism, ancient Egyptian wisdom, or spiritual traditions from around the world. Edgar Cayce often channeled knowledge from lost civilizations, believing truth is timeless and universal. If you've moved beyond narrow doctrines and feel deeply connected to these ageless teachings, it's a sign your soul is ready to integrate them. You no longer seek new ideologies to follow, but instead realize these truths have always been within you. This attraction to timeless wisdom shows your soul is aligning with the eternal and preparing for its final transition. You've made peace with death. As your soul nears its final cycle, you develop a deep sense of peace regarding death. Edgar Cayce often described death as a natural transition, not an end. Instead of fearing it, you now see death as a return to the source, a homecoming. There's no longer dread, but a quiet readiness and acceptance. Your soul has learned what it needed, and death no longer feels like something to avoid, but a natural progression. This shift indicates you're no longer bound by the fear of endings, but embrace the continuity of life and soul. You understand death is just another step in the soul's eternal journey, and you meet it with peace and grace. 8. You feel more connected to the divine than ever before. As your soul nears its final cycle, you experience a profound sense of connection to the divine. Edgar Cayce often said, "Spirit is the life, mind is the builder." You realize you are deeply intertwined with the divine, not separate from it. This connection is no longer just intellectual, it's felt in your heart and soul. You find moments of gratitude, awe, and reverence in everyday life. Your understanding of God, Source, or the universe deepens, and you sense the divine presence in all things. This awareness signals your soul's preparation to merge with its source, feeling a deep oneness with something far greater. You no longer seek answers externally. They live within you, guiding you toward your soul's final return. 9. You sense this life has been about completion. As you near the end of your soul's journey, you begin to feel that this life has been about fulfillment and closure. It's not that you're tired of life, but you have a deep sense of completion. Edgar Cayce believed that when the soul finishes its purpose, it experiences a peaceful readiness to return to the divine. You may notice that relationships come full circle. Unresolved issues are brought to closure, and the lessons you've been meant to learn are now integrated. There's no sense of rushing to achieve or do more. What was meant to happen has already unfolded. This peaceful feeling of completion signals that your soul's work on this earthly plane is almost done, and you're ready to transition into the next phase of existence. With all the wisdom you've gathered, if you recognize these signs in your own life, it may be time to reflect on the lessons you've learned and the wisdom you've gathered. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more topics on spiritual growth and self-awareness, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. I'd love to hear how these signs resonate with you. Thank you for watching.